Dear students, this is my first video lecture for chapter Amalgamation in subject Advanced Accounting and Auditing paper 2 for class 2nd year BCom semester 3 Veer Narmad South Gujarat University. Here is the chapter outline. In this particular video lecture, we will discuss meaning of amalgamation, terms used in amalgamation, reasons for amalgamation, advantages of amalgamation, and finally disadvantages of amalgamation. First, meaning of amalgamation. Amalgamation is a union of two or more companies made with an intention to form a new company. The distinctive features of amalgamations are the existing companies which are merged together are liquidated and a new company is formed to take over the business of the existing companies. And as a result of amalgamation, a new, strong, stable and large company comes into existence. And amalgamation is an emerging trend of today's business world. Now let's try to understand. Here, when we say amalgamation, we mean to say union of two or more existing companies. The reason behind their union is to form a new company. Because of amalgamation, the existing companies lost their identity. Legal entity is lost. Why? Because they go for liquidation and finally form a new company which is strong, stable and large. Naturally, because of combination of two existing companies, we get a synergy benefit of the companies. Here, during amalgamation, two or more companies willingly come together, no force, willingly come together to cooperate with each other and diversify their business activities. After amalgamation, two or more companies dissolve and lost their individual legal status. Hence, they no longer exist. However, they again re-establish themselves, but now jointly by forming a new company having unique name, logo, identity and existence. So, my dear students, here we understood the meaning of amalgamation, where two or more company willingly combine their business to form a new company, and because of their combination, their individual legal status is lost, but they continue their business after re-establishing of a new company as a jointly, and the new company will come in existence with new name, logo and identity in the market. See, in this picture, here we have two companies, company X, an existing company in the market, company Y, another existing company in the market. Now both these existing company in the market, they willingly join their business. Now they combine their business to form a new company. We can say the new company with name XY Limited. So here you can see The two existing company X Limited and Y Limited have lost their legal identity, legal status, and formed a new company. This is called amalgamation. See here company A, an existing company, company B, an existing company. Both the companies amalgamate and form a new company. So here company A is known as amalgamating company. Company B is known as amalgamating company, and after their combination a new company is formed with AB Limited, that is known as amalgamated company. So amalgamating company, that is old company A, amalgamating company, that is old company B, and amalgamated company, that is new company AB Limited. Again you see in this picture, here we have company A, an old existing company, amalgamating company. Company B, another old existing company, amalgamating company. They have combined their business to form a new company with the name AB Limited. This is called amalgamation. Now here in India you see Maruti Motors operating in India, Suzuki based on Japan, amalgamated to form a new company called Maruti Suzuki India Limited. This is a real life example of amalgamation. Same way, Tata Sons operating in India, AIA Group operating in Hong Kong, amalgamated to form a new company, Tata AIG Life Insurance. So it is nothing but amalgamation of two companies. Now we understand the meaning of various terms used in amalgamation. The first term is transferor company. Transferor company, it means a company which is amalgamated into another company. Here for our understanding we can say transferor company means old existing company which is liquidated to form a new company. The next term is transferee company. It means the company into which a transferor company is amalgamated. Here we can say transferee company means a new company which comes into existence because of amalgamation of two existing companies, that is transferor company. So transferor company means old existing company which go into liquidation to form a new company, and transferee company is a new company which comes into existence because of amalgamation of two old companies. Now the third term is consideration. Consideration for the amalgamation means the aggregate of shares and other securities issued and payment made in the form of cash by the transferee company to the shareholders of transferor company, Here we mean to say consideration paid to the shareholders of transferor company by transferee company is consideration. It can be in the form of shares, other securities, and cash. Let us see some reasons for amalgamation. The first and foremost reason is expansion and diversification of business. The second reason is cost reduction by reducing overheads. Third is optimum economic benefit. Fourth reason for amalgamation is increasing the efficiency of operations. Fifth, de-risking strategy. Sixth benefit is tax benefit. Seventh is scaling up of operation for competitive advantage. Next is access to foreign market. And last is increase the market capitalization. These are few reasons for the amalgamation and formation of a new company. Here are some advantages of amalgamation. The first is research and development facilities are increased. The amount of capital can be increased by combining business. Expansion of companies, avoiding competition, increasing efficiency. Monopoly in the market can be achieved. The benefits of large scale production can be secured, and the establishment and management cost can be reduced. These are some advantages of amalgamation. Here are some disadvantages or demerits of amalgamation. First one, goodwill of the existing old companies decreases, or more or less we can say it is lost. Second is the business combination brings a monopoly in the market which may be harmful to the society. Next, the identity of old companies finishes. And the last is management of the company has become difficult and complex. So, these are some disadvantages of amalgamation. Types of amalgamation. As per Accounting Standard 14 issued by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, amalgamation can be of two types. First is amalgamation in the nature of merger and amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Dear students, from the viewpoint of solution of example, it is very important to understand the types of amalgamation. Unless and until you understand the types of amalgamation, it becomes very difficult to solve the example. So let us understand the types of amalgamation one by one. First type, amalgamation in the nature of merger. An amalgamation should be considered as a merger when all of the following conditions are satisfied. My dear children, I put more emphasis on this point. All of the following conditions are satisfied. Condition number 1 is related to assets and liabilities. It means after amalgamation, all the assets and liabilities of the transferor company become assets and liabilities of the transferee company. Nothing should be left behind. Next condition is for book value of assets and liability. No adjustment is intended to be made to the book value of assets and liabilities of the transferor company when they are incorporated in the financial statements of the transferee company, except to ensure uniformity of accounting policies. I mean to say, when we transfer all the assets and liabilities of transferor company to the new company, it should be transferred at its book value. No value will be altered, increased or decreased or changed. Only except to ensure uniformity of accounting policies. Next is continuity of business. After amalgamation, the business of the transferor company is intended to be carried on by the transferee company. It means the new company should continue the business of old existing companies. The business pattern will be same as it was with old company. Shareholders. Shareholders holding not less than 90% of the face value, 90% of the face value of equity shares of the transferor company should become equity shareholders of the transferee company on account of amalgamation. It means 90% or more of face value of equity shareholders should become the equity shareholders of the transferee company on account of amalgamation. Next condition to satisfy is for consideration. The consideration for the amalgamation to those shareholders of the transferor company who are willing to become equity shareholders of the transferee company is discharged by transferee company wholly by issue of equity shares of the transferee company, except that cash may be paid in the respect of any fractional of shares. So, dear students, for the nature of amalgamation of merger, one must fulfill all these 5 conditions. Now, in case of merger, there is a pooling of assets and liabilities of the combining entities. Hence, the resultant figures of assets and liabilities, capital and reserves of the combining entity are more or less represent the sum of the relevant figures of the amalgamating companies. That's all. So, my dear students, when two or more companies go for amalgamation and they fulfill all these 5 conditions as per accounting standard 14, they are doing amalgamation in the nature of merger. Amalgamation in the nature of purchase. An amalgamation which does not satisfy any one or more conditions specified for the merger is termed as amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Dear students, as we have discussed 5 conditions for merger, if any amalgamation is done without satisfaction of any one or more of the 5 conditions, it is termed as amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Say for example, suppose P Limited acquires the business of Q Limited with no intention to continue the business of Q Limited. It is a purchase and not a merger, because one of the condition is continuation of business of old company, and here it is not fulfilled. Second case, shareholders of Q Limited holding 90% of the share capital do not become the shareholders of P Limited. Here there is a violation of condition of amalgamation in the nature of merger, that is 90% shareholders do not become the shareholders of amalgamated company, that is new company. So, my dear students, please try to understand, if all those 5 conditions discussed are satisfied, it is called amalgamation in the nature of merger. But if any one or more or all conditions are not satisfied, it is called amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Dear students, I end my lecture here. In the next lecture, we will see the difference between merger and purchase, and we will try to understand the accounting methods to be followed for amalgamation in the nature of merger and in the nature of purchase. Thank you very much for watching this video lecture. Dear students, watch this lecture and make your personal notebook for your university examinations. Thank you very much.